Hey guys, welcome back to another Thursday of Zoom Networking. Today we have an absolutely amazing young man as our guest speaker. Um, can't give this young man enough accolades. He is one of the smartest guys I've ever friggin' met. Even though he likes the Buffalo Bills, he's still my friend. Um, we met through my prior education group. He's been a coach, he's been a speaker, he's been on stage in front of thousands and thousands of people. Has his own business, real estate investor, entrepreneur, and a very successful young man and very sharp. I'd like to introduce my good friend, Bob Red Shoes McIntosh. Bob, how you doing, my friend?
What's happening? I'm happy to be here. And for everyone that's joined us so far, you are in the right place for the right time in your life. And I'm happy you're here to join us with this.
Hey, Bob, what are you going to be talking about today?
So, guys, my background comes a lot in tech, and I do marketing, mostly digital marketing for investors and people in the investing space. And I really want to share with you guys tonight how you can start to use AI to scale. And I have some very interesting thoughts on here. I'm going to point you guys in some interesting directions, and um, hopefully, I don't know if I'll say I'll blow your mind, but at least start opening your mind to the possibilities that exist for you to scale your business today. I'd love for you guys to put the questions in the chat. If I can answer it easily when I'm doing, I will. If I'm going through some things, we'll catch it at the end. I might stop as we go here. I have a not a full presentation I'm going to give. I'm going to share a couple of screenshots from some slides that I have from another presentation I did on AI. But it's that presentation is almost a year and a half old, and I purposely am sharing that one because I want you to see the difference has happened in just 18 months. And I've been teaching
Wow.
AI stuff since 2021, really. So first and foremost, I kind of want to get an idea on a scale of 1 to 5, one being I know AI exists, but I've done nothing with it, and 5 being I'm going crazy building autonomous bots and agents and all kinds of insane stuff. Where would you guys rank yourselves? In the chat, just put a 1 through 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm just trying to get a feel for where everyone's at here. Awesome, man. A lot of cool. Okay, good. We got a good mix of people here. All right, awesome. So, if that's the case, then I'm going to adjust just a little bit of what I talk about. There's some of you here are a little bit further along. For some of you guys, not as much, and that's okay. This will still be hyper valuable, I think. And here's what I want tonight to be. This is not going to be a tactical, how do we do these things? The reality is, if you don't know how to do something with AI, you can ask AI how to do the thing and it will tell you how to do it. So you don't even need to know how to do something. You just need to know how to ask the question. And I think all of us are probably just fine at figuring out how to ask questions and how to make that work. So I'm not going to dive deep there. The most important thing that I need everyone to understand, and just based on the way that you guys are saying that you're using AI right now, I think we're probably in a good spot. But AI will outcreate you, it will outpace you, and people with AI will outpace you. If you're just beginning the journey with this stuff now, then you're already way far behind, unfortunately. Now, does that mean that you can't catch up quickly? No, you certainly can if you want to. But understand that it is the way that things are going. It's no longer an option. Those who can do AI and build things will be able to outproduce, outcreate, and outshine everyone else simply because the leverage that AI gives us is going to be the ability for that to run and do what it does. And as you think about, what you're doing and how you're doing it and the things that you need as an investor, right? I want to be very clear about where AI is going to be most beneficial for most of you. And for most of that, that's going to be at the top of funnel. Content creation, ideation, finding information, spawning more information, and going that way. And then it's also going to be very useful at creating and repurposing content and driving accountability and training within what you do. Now, for most of us as investors, we don't need to get into the deeper level of building apps and things of that nature and all of that. Because the reality is, for most of us, what we do in the real estate space, an app's not going to be the most useful function of your time, particularly unless you're like very, very far along in this. And so, the way that I classify most everyone is they're operating at basically 6 different levels of AI. And I want you to understand these levels, not because, to say, oh my gosh, I'm way too far down, I need to get ahead, but understand as you progress in your usability of these functions, this is where you're at. So level one is no AI, manual, copy paste, no automation, just doing things by hand. This is the worst place you can be right now because, again, people will outpace you quickly. The amount of content, contracts, information, connections, and follow up that can be done through AI will outpace you very quickly. Like just to give you context, right? If we look at just but our AI agents in 1 month placed a total, sorry, in 3 months, no, two months, 1/1/25 to 3/2/25, 1,920 calls, triggered 327 actions, and had 92% positive sentiment. These are outbound lead qualification agents, right? How many of you think you could actually conduct voice agents, by the way, 1,920 calls in the course of 2 months? I don't think too many of you guys would be able to do that effectively and still have a life. Why? Because AI can do many, many calls at the same time. It can handle a lot of folks at the same time. And so that's the scalability that I'm talking about, right? So that's level one. No AI, just trying to do everything manually, going from there. Level two is Chat GPT users. So, and by the way, if you're here, awesome. That means you're already taking the right steps in the right direction. You're using it for basic stuff. It's helping you create some content, do some ideation, maybe writing some emails or communication. Maybe you've got it writing some social media posts for you, things of that nature. That's a perfect place to start. And nothing wrong with that. It's where most of you will start. While I'll talk about some more advanced tools here, since there's a few of you that are doing some pretty cool things. I'm not going to dive deep into a lot of those advanced tools because for most of us, we can accomplish most of what we need with ChatGPT, Claude, and maybe Gemini or a few others, right? The next level up is level three, which is power users. Power users are building multiple tools, building using multiple tools, usually Claude, Gemini, GPT, things like that. They're using what we call MCPs. I don't know if you guys know what that stands for or not, but it's essentially a model context protocol. It's a language that AI can speak to each other. And so when we get multiple tools, they start talking to each other. MCPs are how they begin to understand what each other's saying because they don't speak in human language like we do. Even though they were programmed in human language, they speak in a slightly different language than that called MCP. And I'm generalizing, by the way, guys, for some of you who are more advanced, I may be whitewashing this a bit, but I don't want to get people lost in acronyms galore because that's not the goal of tonight. All right. The next one up is workflow builders. So they're using things like N8N to build automations. They're triggering when things happen to trigger other activities, things of that nature. That's the next level up. And they're integrating generally different tools, different data, and combining those things to create something awesome. Level five is going to be autonomous agents. So these are people that are building actual agents that will actually go in. They basically spawn up their own little workstation or computer and they start executing specific tasks on your behalf. That's the next level up. The other part of this is you start building, we generally call replets. That's the most popular tool, although there's other variations, Lovable and things of that nature, where you're actually building apps. You're building little things to accomplish stuff. For most of us as real estate investors, we don't necessarily need to get to that level. There's some things that could be easier done with apps, but for most of us, we don't need to be there. And then the highest level, which is probably honestly less than 1% of all people using AI, is those building sub agents. So they've built tools that build their own agents to go do stuff. Think about it like if you ever watch that Will Smith movie, I, Robot, right? It's robots building robots. That's the next level of this. Again, for most of us, that's probably not necessary, but it's very interesting to watch what's happening in that space. With the right background, yeah, vibe coding, exactly, David. With the right background, you can actually build an app that will build agents and spawn up entire teams to execute stuff for you on demand as you need. And so again, for the one benefit that I will give everyone in the real estate investing space is that real estate is very much still not an electronic friendly business, right? We still have a lot of paper involved. There's still a lot of things that have to be done in person. You're talking about very high price point products, aka houses. And so, what does that mean for us? That means that the intrusion of AI into what we do will be dramatically slowed down by that, which is good for us. Why? Because it gives us breathing room to figure out what we're doing. It gives us breathing room to stop for a second and say how and what's happening right now, and how do I build things to support me and what I'm doing, and how do I go from there. Now, does that mean it's going to be that way forever? Absolutely not. We won't have that forever, but we will have the ability to, or the benefit, I guess you could say, of slowing things down a little bit, and that's good for those of us who are newer to AI. This is a screenshot of just the tools that existed 18 months ago that I could find easily with some easy wording. Since that time, this is probably about 10x what you see on the screen. Don't worry about what the actual tools are. It doesn't matter. The point is there's literally tens of thousands of AI tools out there, and every day more and more are coming. Why? Because people can vibe code new AI tools in literally hours, what used to take months or even years to develop. And when I say vibe code, for those of you who don't know what that means, it's the idea of rather than me hard coding and building things, I can just tell an AI what I want it to do and have it go build the thing for me. That's the future of where we're going. That's what's starting to happen. We're still, I'd say, a good ways away from that being heavily scalable, but it's very good. And I'm going to share a screen. I unfortunately broke the bot as I've been working with it, but this is a replit. And I literally over here and just chatting saying, hey, I'm building a loan quote bot. So for a lot of you guys, you probably know that we do Always Capital, which is our lending arm and our fund, right? So I'm building a bot so that you can go on the site, tell the bot all your details about your deal, and it will spit out a quote for you instantaneously. It's not there yet, but it is coming, right? And all I'm doing is I'm just literally telling it this is what I want it to do, and I'm giving it the specifics of the information, and it's building for me. Now I went in and I broke it recently, so that's why it's giving you a 404 error. That's also the problem with sometimes with vibe coding. You give it the wrong things, it starts freaking out, and sometimes you break it. You got to go back and fix it, but that's okay. I'm still able to build things a lot faster than we have in the past. So hopefully I've thoroughly terrified those of you who are at a 0, 1, 2, or even a 3 on AI scale. And for those of you who are 4s and 5s, you're probably like, okay, that sounds cool, but we're getting there. But for the rest of you guys, what I want you to think about when we use AI as a real estate investor is the most important thing I can tell you right now is don't get caught up in trying to go down the rabbit hole of learning everything AI. Whatever you learn this week will be out of date next week, and whatever you learn next week will be out of date the week after that. It's the unfortunate truth of it. So instead of trying to learn AI, right, unless you're going to build AI for other people or you're going to become a business that does AI, in which case you should be learning these things. But for most of us investors, right, we can make a lot more money flipping a house than I'm ever going to make building an AI bot. That's the truth. Now, that's not everyone. There's certainly exceptions to that, but it's no different than anything else in business, right? Most of us will make more money doing the basic, easy, simple things that are in line for what we do versus trying to become an expert at everything AI. And so my goal is not to make you an expert tonight. My goal is for you guys to become experts at a few areas that are going to help you. Now, JJ has figured out the biggest thing that most investors don't do well, and that's be visible. He's figured out a way to be visible. Now, guess what? For JJ, that's a lot of manual effort right now. And I'm working with him as part of our Always Capital team to get him out there to use AI to push him out there even more and faster. That's also why Bell's here to help out as well, is to get JJ seen even better. But content creation and multiplication is simply put the most effective use as an investor that you have today with AI. Now, let me explain what I mean by that. Regardless of what you think about social media or how you feel about social media or your level of use of social media, it still today remains one of the single easiest ways for us to gain credibility and notability in our local markets. It's a way for us to be seen and be visible on the things that we're doing. even if you don't want it to be you, here's the best part. You can literally build a fake version of anybody, right? And have that person represent your business if you can't. So even though you may not be able to be visible, it doesn't mean that you can't create an AI version of you in the background. It doesn't even have to look like you unless you want to build you as well. Okay. And I'm going to talk about some tools that I think are very, very powerful in doing that. The first that I want you guys to take a look at is one called HeyGen. This is HeyGen, HEYGEN.com. It's a fairly inexpensive tool. It's about $30 a month. And by the way, guys, there are some tools that are free. A lot of the good stuff is not free. It just is what it is. So I'll do my best to give you guys some low cost things. Most of this is not going to be hyper expensive, with a couple of exceptions of what I'm going to show you today. But this will allow you to upload a video of yourself and literally create a video. I know you can't hear this, but this is a video 100% AI generated. I went to ChatGPT. I told it what I want it to have me say. I gave it the script. I put the script into here, and it generated this video of me talking. This took in total to make this is only a 43-second video, right? But in total, this took me a grand total of about 7 minutes to do. And most of that was me tweaking the script so that I liked the way that it sounded and what it said. And then it took about, I don't know, 7 or 8 minutes in the background for this video to generate, right? And so the idea here is that we can go out and start to create mass content very quick with anything that we want to. It literally doesn't matter on what we do. And the other thing that I like about this tool, for those of you guys who are like, hey, I don't want to be the person out there, that's okay. You don't have to be the person out there. You can create variations of yourself. This tool will also give you all of these different people who can represent your brand online. This dude, this girl, this girl, this guy, this girl, this girl, this guy, like this girl. And by the way, even within each of these individual people, you can change their outfits. So if I don't want them to have a suit on, I want them to be more relaxed, we can do that. Like, this is the level that we can operate at. So when we talk about being seen and content creation and getting out there, right? A lot of us, might have full-time jobs still, and that's okay. And we can't be seen out there, but it doesn't mean that we can't create these AI avatars to go out there and represent us, to say the things that I need to be said. Some of us might be camera shy. We don't want to be on camera. Some of us might be like, oh man, like I don't like the way I look. I don't have good equipment. I don't have time to make videos. All right. Well, if you can spawn up this kind of content this quickly, why would you not? Right? Have it say whatever you want it to say. Not sure what to say? Perfect. Head to ChatGPT. Say, I'm trying to have a video that talks about this thing, and I need a video script that's 1 minute long that will do that. Like that, in 30 seconds, it can get that out.
So I've been using CapCut. It's not
Yeah.
overly user friendly. I'm wondering, how does it compare to HeyGen?
So two very different tools. So CapCut's more about video editing versus video creation. They do have some basic video creation stuff in there, but it's not
Gotcha.
it's not as good, to be honest. But it's good
Thank
for
you.
video editing. So if you got videos of yourself you want to do, it's a little bit better. CapCut's a better tool for that than HeyGen is.
And for your note taker, do you have a preference? We're right now going between Sybil and Reed. Do you have a preference?
Nope. Honestly, I have found all the note takers to be pretty much the same. I can't say that any of them were particularly better. In fact, just the basic one in Zoom is just fine for that kind of stuff. Use one that you like, right? Firefly offers some nice features. So that one I've seen good. Otter is pretty decent. Reed's fine. Like they're all. Here's the funny thing: most of them are all using the same exact back end AI language learning model. So it really doesn't matter. It's going to generate about the same scripts either way.
You might want to check out Sybil. It's actually different and rather impressive. But my biggest issue has been having multiple emails. They don't show up if you don't use one calendar. You can't tie it to your Zoom per se. You have to tie it to your calendar. So
Yeah.
trying to figure that
Yeah. I
one
mean,
out.
look, whatever works for you. Like if you like that one, great. Perfect. Maybe it sounds like you may have a couple of different accounts. You can tie to different ones or invite yourself to your own calendars across everything. There you go. Awesome. All right.
Thank you.
JC, you want to pop in with a question?
Yeah, I've been using or playing around with Sora.
So Sora is great for making fun, kind of weird videos that don't necessarily always make sense or look just a little bit wonky. HeyGen is far superior at creating more realistic, lifelike videos. So I would say the answer between Sora and HeyGen is going to very much depend on your use case scenario. If you want a more professional video, I think HeyGen is going to be a better tool. If you're just trying to have some fun with it, get some attention, then I think Sora is going to be a better tool.
Now, does HeyGen allow you to, put yourself in different backgrounds? Like, say you want to be on an island, or you want to be on a plane, or you want to be, does it allow you to have that functionality?
So if I want to be at a desk, I want to be sitting, I want to be standing, I want to be here, I want to be talking with traffic behind me, I want to be over here. I've got this one just like with a little background. So I can upload literally almost any video or photo of myself and then use that to create content from there, which is pretty slick. Cool. All right. Now, um, the other part that I want you guys to know about is a tool that's been around for several years now, but is still massively valuable, and that's Opus Clip. I don't know how many of you guys have heard of Opus Clip or not, but it is a fantastic tool for taking long form content that you might make and dropping it into short form content for these different platforms. So I had the opportunity to speak at a summit. It was about an hour presentation that was recorded for me. I dropped that summit clip in and it created 32 short form clips in a matter of about 5 minutes for me. Then it took each of the clips and it gives me a scoring. So it says, based on the score here, here's the probability of it being virally picked up. Now, virality doesn't necessarily mean going wide and having tens of millions of views, whatever. But virality in this scenario means it's getting picked up by my audience and most likely to actually do well with my audience. And it ranks them for me as it goes down through here, down to a low of 75. And then I can actually post to platforms if I want to, which by the way, I would not do. Real quick. If you're going to spend time to do social content, put it out there. Don't use third-party posting tools on any platform. You will decrease your reach by as much as 60% for doing that. I don't care what anyone says. I don't care how easy it makes it. It's not worth it. If you're going to spend the time to create good content, spend the time to upload it directly natively into the platform. Now, you can use scheduling tools in the platform. That's fine. But third-party tools do not use, I promise you, for all of you guys, particularly with real estate, because it's not a particularly viral topic that we're ever going to talk about in most cases. It's not going to be worth it for you guys in doing what you're doing. Right now, in addition, each of these things, when it does it, will give me a scene analysis if I want it. Okay. It'll rate my hook, my flow, the value that I offer in this clip and the trend based on what it's seeing. Okay. I can add B-roll here if I want to. I can enhance the speech. So if it's like a really crappy background, or there's a lot of background noise, it does a decent job of this. I can actually change the aspect ratio to fit wherever I want to. I can download the high quality version if I need to. This shows the low quality version just because it wants to make it load times very fast. And then I can change the entire captioning right here so that it doesn't say weird things about what I said or didn't say. But this tool right here is great. So for all of you guys on this call, do everything that you can to hop on and talk about the things that you're going and create long form content. Not sure what to say? Great. You have a whole group of people right here. Hop on a Zoom, record the Zoom, talk over whatever kind of information you want to, and then drop it into here. It doesn't have to be perfect, but if you talk for even just 1 hour about one topic as you go, even if it's just you having a conversation with yourself on a Zoom, sweet, record that video, then upload it here and let it spit out content. I now have literally an entire month from a 1 hour, if I was posting once a day, I have an entire month of content, 32 clips I can post from a 1 hour conversation I had around AI. Now imagine that you did 2, 3, 4, 5 of those a day. Now imagine that you're on this call right now and you get the recording from Bell And then you take this recording and you drop it in, and then you add an extra clip of you in giving your thoughts about the things that you learned and why it's important. Doubling down, right? Like it doesn't always have to be your content. You can repurpose other people's content that you share and say, man, I learned so much from this guy, Bob. I want to share his video here. Perfect. Drop my video in and do that. I'm okay with that. Helps me, helps you. We all win. All right. So this is what I want you guys to start thinking about. Now, here's where it gets even crazier. What if I go to Hey Gen and I give it a 15 or 20-minute clip instead of a 40-second clip, and I make it write a whole long form video. And then I take that long form video and I go over to Opus Clip and I have it chop it up into a bunch of short form videos for me. Well, I just did one thing, and it's grand total, by the way, to write. 1 hour is going to be a little hard. It's not going to go for that long. It might get as much as 15 minutes effectively, or you might have to string multiple like 5 to 8 minute segments together into one video. But guess what? I can write 10 5-minute segments. I've got almost an hour. Put those together using CapCut, like Alicia said, or something else, right? And then take that over to Opus and have it spit out 30 different social posts for that. Take that video, upload it to YouTube, and now I've got literally a massive social presence. Now, one other thing that I want you guys to think about from a content creation standpoint is we're all on all these meetings all the time. And even if you are on a meeting, by the way, that they don't allow AI into for note taking, like JJ doesn't allow AI here, that's okay. You can run a local AI that will listen to everything on your computer that's happening, record it all. Use a tool like Lindy, Lindy, if you want, for example. Lindy will collate your entire meeting notes and then spit out written form content that's perfect for LinkedIn and X. So now I'm starting to paint a bigger picture here, guys. We can go on, create one video for an hour, right? Can you find 1 hour once a week to create content for your business? And just talk about anything you want to talk about. I don't even care what it is. Talk about your local market. Talk about your favorite restaurants in the city. Talk about that you operate in. Talk about a cool wholesale deal that you had. Share an awesome story that happened in your life, right? One of my favorites, for example, and I did this a long time ago, but I had a deal. We walked through the house and I offered the guy $20,000 for his house. And he's like, wow, I've got offers at 27 to 35,000. I don't think I can take 20. I was like, hey man, I was like, if you can get 20,000 or 30,000 for this house, you should take it. I can't match that. And I wish I could, but I just can't. Right. And so I left thinking, I don't have this deal. Now, while I was in this guy's house, I happened to notice that he had over 200 of those Kodak carousel reel things. Remember the old, for those of you old enough, the circle with a thing, it's like a gunk as it moves along. You know, if you guys know what I'm talking about, those things, right? And he was distraught because he thought he was gonna have to throw them all out because he couldn't figure out a cost-effective way to translate them to digital and didn't know what to do with them once the house sold. I was like, oh man, I don't know how to help you with that. Like I would tell you to go to one of those stores, but it sounds like you went there and I can't help you. Well, guess what? Just so happened to be that evening, I'm sitting in the chair waiting for my parents. We're going to go out to dinner for that night. And I'm looking through like Sharper Image or one of those catalogs. And I find a machine for $150 that lets you plug the stupid thing in and USB it to your computer for $150. I was like, oh my gosh, this is exactly what that guy needs. So on the way to dinner, I said, we got to go by his house. Right? Dropped off. I said, hey man, I was like, I know we didn't do a deal. I hope you don't mind. I'm going to bug you. I was like, I just happened to be looking through this catalog. I found a machine. It's $150. We'll do exactly what you need to on your laptop. I just wanted to give you this catalog here. You can go order this thing if it's that important to you. And he just freaking broke down crying. And he's like, oh my God, like whatever. Like he was so grateful for that. He called me later that evening and said, I don't even care. I'll sell you the house. So I could tell that story, record it on Zoom, spin up some, you know what I mean? Like you started saying like, it doesn't matter what's happening in your life. There's lots of cool stories and things that we can share, content we can talk about, conversations that we can record. So much of it's happening already for us that why not take this information and then let AI spawn it into content for us? By the way, let's say you record a cool meeting and man, it's like, you're like, man, I looked, you know, my camera was dark because it was nighttime and no one can see me. No problem. Take the transcript from that Zoom call that you went to and guess what? Drop that into HeyGen and have it spin a video out for you. Just like that, you've got a video going. It doesn't even have to be you. Like this is the kind of stuff that we can do, you know, with AI if we want to. And so if being seen is important, as JJ says, and I truly believe it is, right? Then this is how you do it. And guys, one more thing just for context. In 2017, okay, or sorry, yes, 17, I called it the year of engagement. And JJ might remember this. I think he might have been around for some of this, but it was when Facebook Live first happened. I went live 247 days of 2017 for anywhere from 10 minutes to 1 hour, depending on what I had to say. That visibility gained me over 15,000 followers on my social over the course of a year. And it was just random shit. I was honestly half the time rambling about dumb things that happened in my day and things I was like, man, this stupid lender annoyed the crap out of me today. I'm gonna talk shit about him because he was annoying, right? Like, whatever. The point is this. If I can do that on Facebook Live for 247 days live, I literally had to go live and do this every day. You can take the time and find the time 1 hour a week to batch some content of you recording some stuff on your phone in front of you, wherever you are. Because by the way, your background doesn't matter. Throw up a green screen behind you and you can have any background you want to be at, right? And something you have mass content very quickly with very little output of your time. And if you start pushing this out there even more, right, even better. Now, if I made 32 clips from a 1 hour video and I did that once a week, I'm now posting over 120 clips per month. That's 3 times a day I can post content to my profile. Do you think if you can mass produce that much content every single day that you don't start to win a few more deals, that you don't start to get a few more connections, that you don't start to meet some new people that you didn't know, that you don't start to be asked, how are you doing this? How can you help me? You don't start to get recognition in your local market? You will. You will. Right? So this is what I want you guys to think about. I have some more to go through, but I'm pause here again because I just hopefully blew some people's minds. And for those of you who are already using AI, I hope you're starting to see the bigger picture of what you can do with this.
So I've been playing with, I prefer Grok, just, I don't know why, but I've been playing
Perfect.
with the image
Grok's
stuff.
great,
I
man.
put up
I
some
love
images of you guys with it. But some of the content creation, AI content creation, Facebook's been throttling me as, AI created. There are a way around that. It's just something we're going to have to learn to jump through those hoops. Is it because I'm getting it from Grok and not their platform, ChatGPT or something? Is it
Are you uploading from the platform or are you downloading and re-uploading?
re-uploading? No, I'll make
Okay.
stuff. We'll play with it. We'll decide what to do with it, my VA and I. And then like I've just made still ads, but I did a deep dive. How can they tell? Well, it just the color chromatic, they can tell it's not, I didn't do it on paint, that it was AI generated.
Yeah. So here's the reality, right? Like, unless you want to get really crazy with it, they're always going to know it's AI created. There's a lot of fingerprints in the actual context of it. The only way to get rid of those fingerprints is to upload content into a third-party platform that's used to exporting stuff and taking it from there. So like taking a video, uploading it to CapCut. I don't even know if CapCut can do this or not, but like Premiere, for example, can erase all those fingerprints and then re-exporting it back out. But honestly, it's going to be a lot of extra work for not a lot of effort. Where you're going to find better benefit and why you're getting throttled for a lot more AI content is less to do with the fact that it's AI and more to do with the quality of what you're saying in it. So what I would recommend is how can you boost the quality of what you're doing, right? And what you're saying and the information around what you're doing and try that and see what happens instead. Now, the other thing that you can do is for all of you who are actively going to be out there creating content, create share circles. Hop on to like a WhatsApp or some other encrypted chat. iMessage is fine. WhatsApp is okay. Signal's a great one. And say, hey, I just posted new content. Please go like it. And everyone goes likes each other's content. Now you got to have a big enough group and you got to rotate through because if the same 5 people like your content every single time, it's not going to necessarily help, but it will help push it out there a little bit further for everyone if it can. But yeah, the content of what you say is starting to become more important. So by the way, this is a game and it switches about every 18 months or so from quality to quantity. So here we're right now we're exiting quantity and going back towards quality. 6 months ago we were very much in quantity, not quality. And so what happens is quality increases because Facebook and these other platforms incentivize quality for a while. because the quantity is too much. And then people get hip to it and they change what they're doing and they start doing less stuff and more quantity. But then Facebook's like, oh, there's not enough stuff. So they incentivize people to do more stuff versus the quality stuff. And then it swings back and it's just a pendulum that goes back and forth and back and forth. So if you're seeing that you're posting a lot, but you're getting throttled, then that means we're in quality over quantity. If it's the other way around, that means we're in quantity over quality. And then again, about every 18 months, this will swing back and forth. So you just play the game and know that's the game.
You said something to the effect that if you're using a third-party platform to launch your social media posts, you lose visibility doing that. I was
Correct.
just getting ready to do it with Go High Level. Are you advising against that?
100% do not use that.
Thank you. Because
Do
I
not
was
use any third-party platforms. Um, Best case scenario, 15% decreased reach. Worst case scenario, 60% decreased reach. That's your best case is 15%. Best case scenario.
Thank you.
Yeah. Because here's the deal. They know that if you're using third-party tools like that to schedule content, it knows that you're not really taking the content, like you're just batching shit out, and it assumes that for most people, batch stuff is going to be crap. Doesn't mean that yours is, but it does mean that that's what it's assuming. And so that's why everything needs to be natively posted to the platform in a function or format that fits that platform best. So that means Facebook and Instagram need to be real formats in a vertical way. LinkedIn and X need to be written posts. Don't worry about videos and stuff like that. It doesn't matter as much there for right now. Threads, same thing. TikTok, back to the same as Reels. You can post the same content, but again, download your content to your device and then upload it directly to the platform. Don't download your content from third-party places. Like don't put it on TikTok, then download your TikTok and upload your TikTok to Instagram because it knows it will reduce your reach, right? Do everything on a computer, download it to your phone, and then upload it back up.
Are you saying use your phone to do your posts and not your computer?
Yes.
You're making this difficult.
So here's why. The more difficult it is, the less likely folks are to do it. And those who are probably have content that they feel is worthwhile. And therefore, it supports the quality matrix that we're after. So they know that this is going to be the harder that they make it for you, the more likely you are to have good stuff because you're taking the time to do it.
So as far as wholesale deals go, I noticed that without a realtor's license in Kentucky, you're basically outlawed from advertising it. However, people do. I've just kind of like realized that since like I guess the law went in like 2000 something not too long ago. I was wondering how everyone kind of gets past those certain things there.
Yeah. So everything comes down to intent. Wholesaling cannot be outlawed. I don't care what anybody says, but they can make it difficult. They can make it annoying. They can make the process frustrating, but they can't make it illegal. It is 100% legal, federally speaking, to assign a contract. But it comes down to intent and ability, and that's where they'll get you, right? If your intent was never to be able to close a property, that's where they're going to get you. Now, there's lots of other ways around this, right? For example, buy the property in the LLC using transactional funding. Always Capital can provide that for you. And then sell the LLC. You just bypass the entire law, just like that. You can do it. That's very, very simple to do, right? So the 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 law in Kentucky specifically says advertising for the sale of an equitable interest in a contract for the purchase of real property, right? So in this scenario, right, you get around that by saying, I'm selling the equitable interest of my company, right? And you just spool up a simple little LLC, drop the wholesale deal into the LLC, and now you're selling the company, which includes real estate. Now you're not selling a contract, you're selling real estate, right? Now, just because the contract is owned, the real estate is not owned yet, it's under contract by the entity, doesn't matter because you're not advertising the contract, you're advertising the LLC. So look, there's ways around everything. Now, there's levels of operation here, right? Like some of this might get into some gray, you might get some questions, you might get some looks and all of that. Sure, very possible. The other option that solves all of this is just go get your real estate license. I promise you it's not hard, right? I've talked to some realtors. I promise you, it's not hard. I've talked to some realtors. I promise you, it's not hard. Just go get it. Now you've eliminated all restrictions in any capacity at that point in time, and it won't take you very long to do. So just that's some thought on that. And by the way, I'm not an attorney. Please take this as my opinion, not to be construed as legal advice or anything of the nature. Let me put my little asterisk star disclaimer on that.
Yeah, so my question is basically using HeyGen, it can use your face, can it use your voice too? So that because obviously I've got a fairly distinctive voice,
Yep.
people are going to spot instantly if I've suddenly got an American accent.
Yeah, bruh. If you sound like that, it's not going to work for you.
No.
Yeah, no, it'll do your voice. Absolutely, yep. And it does a very very good job of modeling it. And I'm sorry, was it? I think it was JC was asking about Sora. One of the big differences in HeyGen is the audio quality is far superior to what that's going to sound like.
The cookie is crumbling, and marketers who rely on old data tactics will be left behind.
Can you guys hear that?
Third-party cookies are disappearing, and the way we track and target customers is changing forever. For years, businesses leaned on big tech to tell them who their customers are. But with new...
I want to pause it here. But that probably sounded very similar to me. I think it's one of the better ones out there. The only program I found that's better at audio is one called 11 Labs, but all they do is audio, nothing else. So that's great if you have like a podcast you want to modify or other things, or if you're doing voiceovers, it's great. But 11 Labs doesn't sync up with video in itself. You have to get a little creative to make that happen. But I think HeyGen does a great job with this. It should nail your voice pretty well. The most important thing, guys, if you're going to do HeyGen for yourself, is to have a good, high quality, well lit video with good audio when you record. So if you notice on mine, I've got the lavalier mic right there. So I've got good, high quality audio. The room I'm in had this stone background, and I dragged in a ton of pillows and a mattress just so to absorb the echoing so it wouldn't echo back into my microphone. I just did what I could to make a very high quality sounding video and go from there. So that's how you handle that. But yeah, Steve, should be able to do that for you. No problem.
Okay, awesome. Thanks a lot.
A participant has asked me to start AI companion, and I'm not new to this. So a lot of times I don't let people record. I don't let them bring in their note taker. I want them to participate. What is the advantage? Maybe not for me or for somebody else, and maybe for me as a host, about allowing someone to start AI companion. This is never something I've done before. Is this something I want to do? How does that work?
So AI Companion is Zoom's AI. So if you wanted to get like a summarization of notes and those things yourself, you could. And so we do that. That's what actually what I use in all my meetings. I don't use a third party tool. I like Zoom's. It does a great job for the purpose of what we have. If you need more functionality, it may not get you there, but for what we do, it works just fine.
Okay, so I mean, generally, as people are on the call, I'm possibly allowing someone who's already here to take some notes. I know Brian likes people to take notes with pen and paper. He feels that it's better retention. Um, is this something you would recommend me to allow, or is this should I not allow this? I'm not
So
really versed.
JJ, here's what I would say for you. I would record and turn the AI Zoom on for all of your calls because it will never hurt you to have that content in that capacity for what you're doing. No one else will see the AI stuff except for you unless you share it. So it's basically for you to have and own. Why is that good? Because we could take these clips and the transcripts and then drop them into our Opus clip, for example, for Always Capital and spit it out. We can take the summarization and create interesting facts and fun things from there. We can say, hey, we had a great call with AI. You can have Bell take the transcript and post those individual pieces of content to LinkedIn or X for specific stuff like that. So yeah, it's a great thing for you. Won't take away from any of the interaction because it's only your AI and nobody else's.
Yeah, we have been recording the Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday calls for the purpose of utilizing that in the future for AI. I think for the moment, whoever requested, we're going to deny it for today. I think what we're going to do is have another more serious look at it with Brian and Bob and see how the future application of allowing AI on the calls can benefit everybody. But for right now, I'm still learning about this, so we're going to kind of ease our way into that. I'm going to step out, Bob, and let you take Alicia's question. And keep in
Yeah.
mind, she's really quiet and reserved, so you're going to have to take it easy with her.
How do you manage your email? I know you do it and I haven't figured it out yet. Jim and I can't do it. My chatbot can't do it. Uh, what are you using to get your email managed? Because it's driving me insane. I can't stand it. I can get notes,
100.
bullet points, to-dos, tasks, all that.
Yeah, I have a really, really super secret AI tool called Bella, who I hired locally, who manages it all for me. Because
Really?
no, so transparently, the idea of AI managing my email terrifies the shit out of me, and I love AI stuff. Obviously, I use it for everything, and here's why. For an AI to manage my email, that means it needs to have unrestricted access to it. Okay. I don't trust an AI yet to do that because guess what? My email controls all of the access to everything. I want to know who the heck I'm giving it to. How do I know that when I go to log into my bank for my business, that the details and one-time access codes and process are not being tracked by AI and reported back to some language learning model that'll then be stored for God knows what for who to see if they get hacked? Heck no. Right. So I still have that one very much done manually. Um, I'm happy to share my email management process if you'd like.
Yeah, that'd be
Uh,
helpful. I can't keep up. I've got 800 in one inbox. I've got like 500 in another 400 in another. I've got 125. JJ will be so proud.
so this is my inbox for email. As you can see, I'm already having heart palpitations because there's 4 emails at 7:13 p.m. that Bella has not organized for me. That's terrifying. I'm just kidding. This is how my folder system, 1 through 9 right here. Number one, this is personal emails that happen to go into my business inbox for whatever reason. To respond, anything that's going to require me to respond goes into this folder. To review is anything I just need to be made aware of. I don't need to do anything with it. I don't have to respond, but it is stuff that I need to just be aware of what's going on. Responded is my ability to go in and say, hey, I've already gotten this taken care of, whatever it is, we're done with this. But maybe it might come back later. Waiting on is, hey, I sent it off. Now I need someone else to do their piece. Receipts and financials, pretty obvious. Newsletters is all the insane amounts of newsletters that I sign up for because I sign up for everyone's.
Me
Holding is my
too.
other holding tank. So once an email is done, it's out. It's no longer relevant to what we're doing. It goes into holding. Call notes are all the AI call notes I get emailed for everyone. I find them annoying, so I put it there. And then I have a separate folder for businesses that we're buying. So whenever someone says, "Hey, I got a business for sale," that goes into that folder for me to review on there. And then I have different folders for other various things like my client stuff. I've got a swipe file, by the way. So these are all the people that I sign up for their email lists and I sort their stuff into there. And then her job is every day to just go in and sort all this out and move it around for me so that I don't have to deal with it. And so you can see, by the way, on an average day, I receive somewhere around 400 to 500 emails in my
Mhm.
inbox. I've got 25 here, 11 here, 18 here. That's it.
So I need a bell. I got you.
Yes.
Okay. And then are you using N8N or are you using something else?
For automations, depends on the complexity of it. We have our own real estate version of Go High Level that we've built out. So I have, from an automation standpoint, I have a lot built out in there. We have our own chat bot and voice bots with automations built out in there. For things outside of communication and marketing, we're using N8N to automate a lot of other things. Correct.
Okay.
Yeah. And by the way,
I just want to know if something else is
N8N is a
out.
great tool.
Yeah.
It is a bit complex and a bit technical. So I would say you need to be at least a moderate level of tech understanding to use N8N effectively.
Well, we built a whole platform.
Yeah.
They're good. I'm not. They do it,
Yeah, yeah.
but it keeps changing so fast. It's just, and you seem to be staying on top of it.
So I do real estate, by the way, guys, and I don't even think I went into my background, right? But I do a lot of real estate. But more importantly, I run a marketing agency, and we do a lot of AI build outs for our clients. And we can build out literally anything. I mean, I won't say we've used every tool because that would be absurd. But I've used all the main tools that are out there in some capacity. and or integrated with them, built them, use them, or have our own instance. And in addition to that, we're building right now a bunch of stuff under blockchain using AI as well.
Would
So
you say that again? You're doing what?
we're building a lot of stuff in blockchain for tokenization of real world assets, particularly loans and real estate right now.
I want to talk to you about that. We're doing that too
Yeah.
in Dubai.
I would never do it anywhere outside of this country, by the way. Using it outside this country is fine, but building it outside this country is how you get your stuff stolen.
And we're building it here.
Right. But your engineers in the
We're
States?
getting an office in Dubai, yeah.
But your
for
engineers
that.
are in the States.
Do you, huh?
Your engineers that are building are in the States or they're in Dubai?
They're actually all over the world.
Yeah, see,
Poland.
to me, that's an immediate red flag. That's how you get your shit stolen very quickly.
Okay. Well, my partner's from Tajikistan. My developer is from Poland. My one of my consultants is from Colombia. They're all over the world.
And that's awesome, but that's how you get your shit stolen.
Okay. Thank you. Noted.
Because what happens if they take it and you want recourse? What recourse do you have? You're gonna go to Poland and get them? They're gonna extradite them
Well,
over
we're working
here?
on the security too. Lots of security.
Yeah. I mean, look, I'm all for it, but our team is 100% US based because I want to be able to put them in jail and make their life miserable if they try to screw me over. I can't do that anywhere else, not effectively. So, but anyways, cool. Yeah, we're doing a lot of other stuff. All right. A couple more things that I want to talk about as you guys go that I think will be helpful from an AI standpoint. One is team accountability using whatever project management tool you use. We use ClickUp. Could be Slack, could be Monday, could be Asana. I don't care. They all have AI built into them to help you summarize your task, understand what you're doing, how it's working, what's going, and where you stand on things. That's how you make sure that you're, especially if you have a team, they're not falling behind. And then the last thing I want to talk about is sales call monitoring. One of the biggest problems that most folks have is they have no idea how to do effectively communicate sales calls, particularly in real estate, especially because we have to sell sellers on giving us a property, buyers on buying it from us, whether it's retail or investor. We got to sell lenders on lending money with us. We got to sell other investors to be part of our deals or whatever we got going on. So there's all these different sales that we have to do, but there's two really cool tools that I found that are helpful in this capacity that will review your sales calls and give you metrics and tell you how you did. The first is one called Gong. It's a great sales tool. The reason I like Gong is that it allows you to build out your scorecards so that you can score yourself against your own metrics, right? So you can say, how did I do against what I'm supposed to be doing? There's another one called Objection Proof, which is built by a guy named Steve Trang, who's a fairly big name in the real estate space. Worked with him on a few things, but objectionproof.ai is an REI, so real estate investing, role playing, and sales tool. So it will allow you to role play sales calls and get better at the sales process. No matter what you are or how you do things in real estate, if you improve your sales skills, you will improve the things that you do and your results. So those are sort of the last two areas that I would say outside of content creation that real estate investors can plug in really cool AI tools to help you scale what you're doing faster. And I'm going to put that's objection proof, and then Gong. I forget what Gong is. It Gong.ai? Gong.io. That's what it is. Gong.io. So check those out. They're both good set. By the way, they'll do other things too. Like Gong has all kinds of other AI functions in it, but I like it for building scorecards and reviewing sales calls. I think it's very good at that particular thing. I'll end with there's 1,000 areas you could apply AI. For most investors, if you do even 10% of what I talked to you about today, you'll be ahead of 90% of investors. If you do 50%, you'll be ahead of 99% of investors. So get out there, start doing these things. If you don't know how to, find a team that can do it for you. Like, for example, it sounds like Alicia's got a team. My team's available. Plug into these groups, get people to do these things for you. I'm happy to answer any other questions that you guys got. But that's the main things I wanted to kind of and talk to you about. A virtual assistant that you can hire right now, today in 2025, is going to cost you between $15 and $75 an hour for most of them, right? We can get something lower, but for someone who's actually good at what they do, 7 to 15 is probably a pretty good price point. So here's what I want you to think about. At just $5 an hour for a VA times 160 hours per month, so 40 hours a week, you're paying $800 a month, right, for a full-time VA. At $15 an hour, you're paying $2,400 a month. Okay. If you want them to work full-time, 24/7, 365, that's about 720 hours per month. You're now paying $3,600. Whether I'm spreading that across 2, 3, 4 people, doesn't matter. If I want 720 hours, in other words, 30 every single day of the week, someone working 24 hours a day, I'm going to spend $3,600 a month for a $5 an hour person. For a $15 an hour person, I'm over 10 grand per month to have someone working 24/7. Everything that I showed you today, you can do for under probably about $200 to $300 a month tops. Maybe a little more if you get into some of the fancier tools, but you're paying a fraction of the price of a VA to accomplish a lot of this stuff. And so this is when I say you will be outscaled and outpaced. This is why. Because for literally 1/100th of the cost, I can deploy a full-time 24/7 employee, right, to do things for me. And this is what I want you guys to think about. This is how you start to scale. Now, it might take you a month to build the thing and get it right and test it and roll it through and get it to the point where it's good and can run. But guess what? If you're here for the long term, spending 1 month to have an employee that will work for you 24/7, 365 forever, that's worth it, right? And this is the scalability that if you don't build into your business, you will not be here in 5 years. I promise you that. Why? Because you will be outpaced. And you might be able to roll along doing your 1 or 2 deals a year and just be okay there. And if that's where you want to live, great. And you probably don't need AI. Perfect. But if you really want to scale something that's going to allow you freedom, this is how you start to do it. Now, when you take all this AI stuff and you supplement it with a great VA who like a Bell or a Bella who can do a lot of these things and help you run these things for you, that's how you have true scale, right? That's how I'm running $1 million company a year right now with 3 employees. It's not because I'm awesome. It's because my team knows how to leverage AI to do a whole lot more than anybody else. So anyways, thank you guys. I appreciate it. This is where we're at. All right, JCS, you have a question.
Hey, thank you for this. One of my main questions is, could we, could we get access to you, to get help on getting set up? Like, do you have a mentorship or anything where you can, or pay by hour or something like that?
Yeah. So my team is available. I'm available too, although on a much more limited basis, just because my schedule was absolutely crazy. But there's a link there. You can use that to book a time with me and we can chat. Transparently, the rest of this year is a little crazy. So it may not be, I don't know what all availability I have for a lot of the rest of this year, but there's definitely some in there.
Can you use AI to help, source deals? Like if you're looking to wholesale in a certain area, could leverage it?
Yeah. Yeah, you can, right? So but it depends on what you're trying to do. So you got to define AI to source deals. How? Do you need lists? Do you need properties? Do you need data? Do you need depth? Do you need contact? What do you need, right? Because those are all different things, and your AI tool is going to do things a little bit differently. Like I could build an agent in ChatGPT that says, go to Zillow, search this zip code, make me a list of every property and copy paste the address of every property that was listed in the last 24 hours. Run that once a day and have it spit a list out in a CSV for me, and then take that data and go start hammering the MLS. And before anyone poo-poos on that, by the way, 90% of all deals closed in the United States are closed from MLS transactions. So everyone telling you, oh, you got to go find the off-market deals. Guess what? You and every other investor are hunting for 10% of all deals. I can tell you right now in my real estate business, hundreds of transactions closed, 45% came from the MLS. So it works, right? So that's one way. So JC, define what you're after. What are you trying to get? What do you want to happen? And then define where it goes from there and define what you need to build to make that work.
Yeah, so I'm a business partner that's a millennial. He understands all this stuff, utilizes AI. My question is, can I just start filming and then run it through AI and edit it later?
Yeah, 100%. So the Opus Clip tool that I showed you guys, right? You film, Dick, film yourself, upload it there. It will do the heavy lifting for you. It will auto add captions. It'll auto script it out. It'll create the whole thing. It'll take your video, however long it is, and split it up into short bite-sized content that makes sense. Obviously, the longer the video, the more, pieces of content you'll get out of it. If you upload 30 seconds, it's not going to be able to necessarily spawn 30 clips from 30 seconds, right? But yeah, it'll do most of the heavy lifting for you in that capacity. And then, by the way, you can copy the transcript, drop that into ChatGPT and say, write me a social media post about this video transcript, and it will create the content to put on the actual social media post. So you download the video to your phone, copy paste what ChatGPT said, put it on, go.
But,
Did I just make your life easier?
yeah.
Perfect.
I mean, everything you said, mate, well, you talk super fast too. So obviously I can't take notes as fast as you talk.
That's okay. So record your video. I'll go through it again. Upload it to Opus Clip.
Opus.
All right. It'll spit out the video. In the video, it'll give you the transcript.
Yep.
Okay. Copy and paste the transcript in the ChatGPT and say, write me a social media post based on this transcript.
This is great.
So real quick, I'm going to share my screen again just so everyone can see. Here's a video. This is the transcript right here. So I can just copy paste. If I want the transcript only, so not, here's the time codes. I can go right here, just copy this whole thing, copy. Boom. So it just wrote the whole thing for me. Now, you might want to take some time to go through this and read it and make sure, but I can just copy paste this into Facebook. But yeah, that's it. Pretty straightforward. Yeah. Was there any other questions or you're good?
Guys, I said it in the beginning of the call. Bob is one of the, not only one of the nicest guys I know, one of the smartest guys I know. And he's not been on stage in front of thousands of people by accident. You guys getting him here like you have in a small room of under 30 people is value beyond you can believe. JC was asking you, how do we connect with you? Guys, I've always said, build your network, build relationships. Get to know me because I'll say Bob's my friend, Brian's my friend, Mark's my friend. Build your network, use my group, leverage my group, let me help you. I don't know as much as Bob does, but as I said it before, guys, I'll help anybody, but if my friend, I'm going to help you more. And if you want to get to know people, sometimes if you get to know their friends, it's going to help you. I'm going to encourage you guys to be visible in my group. Don't just show up here and say I need some help. Be visible in my group. Post in my group. Do videos and post the videos to my group. If you're not visible, you're invisible. If you're not memorable, you're forgettable. And I'm not just talking to myself. 3/4 of the room is not posting to the group. You're not doing videos. So I'm going to say, get off your butt, be visible. We will help you. But if you're not seen in the community, you're not going to get as much help and assistance as the people that are visible in the community. So I just kind of want to throw that little bit of tough love, guys, and I love you. Bob, I think you got a question there from Florence, so I'm going to step out.
So you're saying AI can write the script as well as edit it.
Yep.
So you have a full team crew. You have a full film crew with AI.
Yeah. 100%.
Oh my.
Now, the thing that I'll say, and this is important for everyone to understand, by default, it's going to write whatever it writes. You, over time, can begin to train the AI to sound more like you by uploading things that you've written or uploading email content, for example, taking your notes from your AI notes and saying, hey, learn more about me and the way I speak here and do this. And over time, you can build that. And so you'll see, I actually build projects for all of our clients where I upload videos, content, information, emails, PDFs, books they've written, whatever it might be. And I train the AI to sound more like them. The more that you do that, the more it's going to sound like you. It won't know how to do that at first, but as you get better at telling it, I want this, sound more like this, do this, it will. But yeah, 100%. I can have it go in and spit out a script that sounds just like me. And then there's different tools out there for different things. Like there's one that's a really, really good copywriter. It writes 85% good copy is a high paid copywriter. Still needs about 15% to get the rest of the way there. But for most of us, we don't need that kind of stuff, right? We just need something basic. But yeah. So Florence, let me ask you a question. What's your
Sure.
biggest need in your business right now?
My biggest need in my business is finding that deal.
So trying to find sellers.
Yes.
And where are you based, Florence?
I'm in New York.
What part of New York?
I am in Yonkers.
Yonkers. Okay.
hmm I'm not looking in New York though.
Okay. Where are you looking?
Okay. I'm looking in Illinois. I'm
What part
looking
of Illinois? Because that includes Chicago, which
Chicago and Springfield.
Springfield. Okay. Let's just say Springfield right now.
Okay.
So I'm going to say I need a video script. I'm going to chat GPT that speaks to the hearts and minds of Springfield, Illinois folks. I want to buy their houses cash as is. They don't need to do anything at all. Ideally, I want a seller to carry the note, and if they can give me my terms, I can often give them their price. I need the video to be about 1 minute long. Please write a script I could use for FB and IG to communicate this. Opening, warm tone, calm, standing in Springfield neighborhood.
Oh,
Hey, Springfield, this message is just for you. If you've been thinking about selling your house, but the idea of repairs, showings, inspections, or dealing with realtors feels overwhelming, I want you to hear this clearly. You don't have to do any of that. I've been helping folks here in Springfield who are dealing with tough situations, inherited houses, long repairs, tired of being a landlord, or just looking for a fresh start. And I've learned this. Most people just want a fair solution without all the hassle. I buy houses as is for cash, and you don't need to fix a single thing. No cleaning, no contractors, no fees, no stress. Just a simple, honest process where you stay in control. Pause to introduce the seller carry gently. And here's something most people don't know. If you're open to a flexible arrangement where you get to be the bank, what we call seller financing, I can often give you the price you really want, so long as you can give me the terms that I need. It's a win-win. You get steady payments, no headaches, and more money long term. So, Springfield, if you're ready for a straightforward, no pressure conversation about your options, shoot me a message, give me a call, or click the link. I'm here to help you move on your timeline and your way.
If people want to connect with you, you're part of our Always Capital team.
Yep.
And so you'll be speaking, coming back again to speak on Thursdays. You'll also be speaking to the lending group on Wednesdays, which is the Equity Lending Done Safely, which is a private group exclusive for those that want to participate with us from a in a capacity. But if people are curious about, connecting with you, um, what is your preferred method for them to reach out to you?
So I just dropped a link right there, go3c.com/Bob McIntosh. That link's got my full contact cards. You can click the button that says add to contacts and you'll add all of my details to your phone. You can text me, email me, phone me, whatever, however you want to get a hold of me. Just do that.
Guys, this is Bob's 3D consulting website here. And feel free to reach out. Again, it's go3dc.com, and there are many services he could help you with. Feel free to reach out to him. He will be back to speak with us again. And this is his business partner, Gigi. And you've been on the call. You've seen exactly what this man is capable of, what the knowledge he has. And again, please be visible in my group. Don't be invisible. Let us see who you are. And just like your educational community, whatever education group you're with, if you're not visible, you're invisible. You do not market your business, you market yourself. Bob is a great guy. Hey, Bob, really quick, just before we roll out of here, I'm always talking about networking, visibility, building relationships. I learned a lot of what I talk about. I learned from you. Uh, How important is it for the new investor, intermediate investor, even the seasoned investor? How important is it to leverage social media to market oneself, to build one's business? How important is that?
Is literally one of the most important things. Here's the reality. The real estate investing world is very, very small. It may not seem like it, especially if you're new right now, but it is. I've been in this world since 2008. Okay, it's a long time in this space. And I'm going to tell you right now that the reality of this world is that if you are not being out there being seen, then you are going to be passed over. And there's so many ways, right? It doesn't matter if every seller knows who you are, but there's lots of other investors who have deals that can bring you. Florence, and somebody else, I forget who said they needed to hear about the MLS. Like, understand that, like, much of my business when I was doing real estate was built on connecting with agents, right? My social media profile is how I still have 2,800 agents on my email list in just Buffalo, New York today, right? Why? Because I know that while most of them will never bring me a deal, the few that do will bring me a bunch of deals, and they'll bring me exactly what I asked for because I tell them this is what I'm looking for. Go find it for me, and they know that they get paid if they do, right? So get creative on how you find deals and how you find what you're looking for, because the reality is your social profile will do the heavy lifting for you. When people look up who you are, particularly if they don't know who you are, guess what? They're going to find your social profiles first. They're going to see that you're active. They're going to see that you're out. They're going to see that you're doing stuff. And because of that, it will improve your credibility, which will make the conversation easier to have about whatever you're trying to sell them on. Whether it's you, them helping you, them selling something to you, them working with you, them doing whatever. It will make the conversations far easier if you do it that way.
Bob, thank you so much, my friend. I will see you in Miami.
I appreciate being able to share some of my knowledge. You have all my contact information. If for whatever reason you don't, reach out to JJ. He can always get it to you as well. Happy to help you guys on any of those fronts.